Did you know that 82% of renters say they pay the closest attention to how clean or dirty their date's apartment is?
Yeah, boys' flats are filthy.
That's
I find
the
like
worry.
you go home with someone, they're 28 and their bedroom looks like an 18-year-old.
Oh!
There's like still posters, blue tacked on the wall.
I almost didn't go around to this guy's because I was scared that it was going to be messy. I said to my mate, I was messaging at the time, I was like, oh my God, he's just asked me to come round. And he was like, well, go. And then I was like, but what if his flat's dirty? He was like, we'll just fuck him anyway.
So this is No Sex in the City. Every week we're going to be talking all things pop culture, peen, and everything in between.
Yeah, I'm pretty gassed about it, to be honest. I'm like, just because we need to take this out of the office, just have a safe space where we can openly talk about our dating misfortunes and vagina stuff.
And everything that's been bothering us.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, it all seems to have kicked off. Like, there was a time, I think, like, all the celebs kind of just went a bit quiet. I guess they probably were all in Ibiza. But, like...
Summer. It's called Summer.
Oh, my God.
Don't know if you're familiar with it. It's one of the 4 seasons.
My mate said to me the other day, he was like, so how was your summer? And I was like, what? It didn't even register to me that there was a summer and there was, like, a season. I was just thinking, nothing made me realise how little I did with my life. Somebody said to me, how was your summer? And I was like, oh, yeah. Anyway.
It's been a big week for the Kardashian Jenner clan.
It's always bloody is.
I guess you will have seen, Renee, everyone will have seen that Kylie Jenner is allegedly pregnant.
Dun, dun, dun. Another one. She's 20 years old. What is with these kids?
Yeah, but Travis Scott is like 25. There's not an age difference there.
25 is... Right, okay, here you go. Do you think 25 is too young to have a kid?
No. I think 20 is too young. Yeah, Kylie Jenner is too young to be having... She's only just left school.
She never went to school. She was homeschooled. But, like, if you think about it, though, because at first I was like, pregnant? Let's just assume we haven't had... She's neither confirmed nor denied whether she is with child or not. But let's assume that she is pregnant for us, this little conversation we're having here. Thinking about it, so yeah, she's 20, but she's got multiple properties. She's travelled the world. She's almost a billionaire from her businesses, from her Kylie makeup range. What else is there for her to do apart from... Like, she must be a little bit bored at this point, no?
Yeah, and I guess a normal 20-year-old having a kid would be quite difficult because you're probably going to uni or still at school. You might not have a job, you might not have lots of money, but Kylie is lucky that she doesn't have any of those problems.
Yeah, she's super privileged.
And like biologically, like we're programmed to be having kids from like we're 18.
Yeah, it does seem to be like the people that have had children, even the people like I know that have had children early, their bodies have like sprung straight back and they look great and they're like, yeah, this baby thing, piece of piss, just bloody walk in the park, love it. Whereas like the older you get, it seems that it's like there seems to be more complications and stuff, so it tends to be more pros than cons to have babies younger.
Yeah, I mean also the kind of thing that people have been kind of discussing when they've been thinking about this is that they've only been together 5 months.
Yeah, now that is the clincher. That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, could you imagine just the thought of having a baby with someone you wouldn't even know that person that well?
Yeah,
that is insane. I feel like I'm really judging Kylie right now and her decisions.
Sorry, Kylie.
This is your choice. I'm pro-choice. Do what you want to do. But like, yeah, 5. You don't know that person. What if he like doesn't wipe his ass properly?
Also, sorry, didn't Travis Scott have a thing with Kendall Jenner? Am I there? I feel like that's not been reported or like no one's mentioned that. Like he shagged your sister. He's going to be, even if you break up, he's going to be in your life forever.
I'm so sick.
And he's going to be, you know, at the Kardashian Christmas lunch next to Kylie, but really looking at Kendall.
Well, Tiger was all up in there. And then Black China and Rob. Like, it's all a mess.
Yeah, it's very incestuous.
All a mess. But I do feel like 20 is a little bit young. But then
I don't think you were grown up at 20.
No.
But then I guess whenever, you know, I feel like I'm a grown up now, but I'll probably look back in 3 years and be like, oh God, I was so immature then. I think you always think you're a grown up, don't you? Whatever age you are, you always think you're big enough to do whatever you want to do.
But even now, like I'm like 30. I feel like I should be doing these things, but I don't feel like grown up enough. So I've got hiccups. Grown up enough to be responsible for another human being. It's just too much. But then I guess if Miss Jenner has got all these people and she's got all this stuff, then maybe it'll be really easy for her. Who knows?
She's going to have a lot of help.
But it's just odd to me that she's going to have this child and she...
Well, the suggestions have been that it wasn't planned. It's a happy surprise.
Oh. Congratulations.
It reminds me a bit of Victoria, my favourite TV show.
I am not caught
She
up with
just
that
keeps
at all.
getting pregnant because when you're that age,
How
you
old
just
is
get
she?
pregnant easier. Victoria becomes queen when she's 19. Then they get married when she's 21. Then they just pop out the sprogs.
Yeah, she did have a lot of kids, didn't she?
Yeah, she doesn't want them though.
I know.
That's the difference in this story.
Oh.
But they're both lucky. Who would think that we'd be comparing Queen Victoria and Kylie Jenner?
Oh my God. Honestly, it pains me. It pains me so much. I have the utmost respect for the Kardashian brand. And I think what they've done with the situation that they've had and like the sex tapes and all the scandals and stuff like that is amazing. It's absolutely phenomenal. But realistically, from all of these people, if you think about it, kids who are in year 7 now, they're born in 2007. All they've known are the Kardashians. They're the most famous people in their lives. And yet, not one of these people have ever spoken out about anything significant, ever. I mean, apart from Kendall, who tried to save the world with a Pepsi. But like seriously,
Kendall, you tried.
Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, they haven't.
They haven't done anything. They've not. I'm guessing they might. Maybe they've done.
Do you know what they have done? They've changed the way everyone dresses and looks.
They've sorted everyone's eyebrows out.
And it's worrying how many girls are kind of making themselves look like mini Kylie Jenners. I hope everyone doesn't get pregnant. I really hope.
Unless that's what you really want to do and you've thought about it.
Yeah. Who are we to judge?
This is the thing.
But, I mean, I never want children, so...
Ever?
No, I don't think I do.
Why?
I think I'm single at the moment, as you might be able to tell.
No shit.
By the name of this podcast. I think if I met someone and they wanted children, I'd be open to the idea, but I don't personally want them. I see them as God, people are going to hate me.
You see them as what, Helen?
A drain on my resources and time.
Wow.
I'm just going to have loads of dogs. I'm either going to have 3 basset hounds or 2 golden retrievers.
So,
probably 2 golden retrievers.
Do you not ever worry, think about your genetic lineage? Because I'm going to be honest, the only reason I want to have kids is so my genes are passed on because they're too good to waste. Am I right? No, I'm all right.
I've got this great pair of Levi's and I just...
I know what you mean about a drain on... You've got financial and physical resources, but also your physiological resources. What did you say that kids make you mess up your bladder? And I'm just like, I can't be dealing... I haven't got time to do so many wees.
Having children wrecks your body. I'm privileged enough to have a mother who tells you that whenever I see her that I've ruined her body. It ruins your bladder control. Damage goes on downstairs. You're never the same.
Yeah, no. I know. I'm with you on the dogs. I'm in 2 minds. I think I would quite like to. I was going to say be a surrogate. No, to have a surrogate
for the right price.
roll up, empty womb for sale. No, I would probably use a surrogate. I think I'd be up for that.
Would you?
Yeah. Put my egg in someone else.
So you do want children, you just don't want to be pregnant.
Yeah,
that seems to be.
That's awful. But then, this is so bad. I don't think I could deal with the lack of sleep because that's all parents ever talk about. People that have children, that's all they ever talk about is how tired they are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't deal with that because I'm tired as I am.
I guess you just get on with it though, don't you? You just have to get on with it.
Yeah, and I think they do, but I still want to be able to sleep. I love that on a Saturday morning. If I don't want to get up, I don't have to. I'm going to just blaze around in my pajamas, in my own filth. And all the plethora of men I bring home. I think we'll be able to do that with children. I'm joking, that doesn't happen. I'm sorry, Mum.
But on the Kylie point, people are assuming their relationship's not going to last. Perez Hilton said some pretty vile things.
What do you think?
He said that if he were Kris Jenner, you're not Perez, that he would tell Kylie to have an abortion because her and Travis Scott aren't going to last. They're not going to end up happily ever after they're having a baby and they barely know each other. He posted a video online that said that.
That is absolutely disgusting. I don't think anybody should ever tell somebody what to do in that situation. I don't think whether it be like a family member or a friend or the government. Vive la revolution! No, I don't think anybody should. I know the words "you should have an abortion" or "you should keep the baby" should come out of anybody's mouth. It should always be.
I think Kris Jenner could maybe advise.
No, I think it should be like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Here are the options. There's no right or wrong. You make the choice for you.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty awful comment, but I think, well, it's a horrible comment. I think he shouldn't make it, but I think having a baby so early on in a relationship is maybe not a good idea.
I've known people that have had babies quite early on and they've worked out quite well and they've had more babies since. So it just depends, I guess. If that relationship...
What is the child going to look like?
No. My friend tweeted me and was like, oh my God, the child is going to have Kylie's original face. It's like, I can't publicly acknowledge this tweet. I can't do it. Like, if that relationship does break down, that's awful. You want to be able to see like two parents in an ideal situation. If I were to have children, it would the father of my children would have to love me so much and I would have to love them because I would need my children to see their parents love each other. I mean, like hugging and kissing and being in love and caring for each other as much as they show that emotion to the offspring.
Yeah.
Offspring. I always call children offspring. That's bad, isn't it? You know? Like, and it like breaks my heart when things go awry. I know relationships break up and, you know, all that stuff, but in a dream, I might be a bit idealistic about it, but I would love to have like two parents there and kids seeing that. Like I didn't have that. And I think that would be quite nice.
Yeah, well, having kids puts a drain on a relationship, you know. There's someone we both know who jokes about the different stages of pregnancy that his wife is going through, and she's not in the horny stage anymore. She's in the angry stage, which is probably a very simple way of looking at it.
I would be angry if I had literally, these babies are parasites. They are taking all of your energy, like not in an offensive way, like, oh, they're diseases, but they are in the way that they are taking all of your vitamins, they're taking all of your oxygen pretty much. Your whole respiratory system changes to accommodate this being. So you have to really want it. And well played to people that have kids because, my God, I wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah.
I guess, though, again, Kylie is lucky that she's going to have lots of help. You know, it's kind of a cliche that people say they stay together for the kids.
But don't you think that's awful, though, I think?
It's really awful, but Kylie Jenner's lucky because you traditionally do that because of you don't have enough money to separate.
Yeah.
But Kylie Jenner won't have that problem.
That's true.
So good luck, Kylie.
Good luck, guys. Oh, that poor little Sproggle. I'm saying poor little Sproggle. I still... See, I'm trying to be positive about it, but in my mind it seems like it's quite a negative thing. But anyway, we'll see how it pans out. Either way... Does it affect us? Did you see like my favourite, Chrissy Teigen, tweeted, it was a few days ago, like you're going to have to bear with me, this is a bit of a tenuous link. She tweeted a few days ago that she was in the country because her husband John was doing a tour and she was like in the UK and we were blessed to be breathing the same air as her. And she tweeted that, I'm just going to read you this tweet. I'm not even going to put an American accent on because that would just be offensive to everybody involved. There is something called naked attraction on here in London, and what the fuck is this? It's dating based on genitals. Like, I'm seeing peepees. Like, that just got me thinking. Like, so I laughed, I chuckled, I replied.
You replied to Chrissy?
I did. Did she respond? No. But it's okay, I'll keep trying. One day we'll be friends. But it made me start to think, like, have you seen the show Naked Attraction?
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. But I like the fact that you see someone naked before you actually go out with them. Like, this is like a twofold thing. Inside me thinking about, are we too open here now? Like the way that we approach dating because of dating apps and things like that. Are we too upfront? Because I've had so many guys message me and they're like, oh, how tall are you? Or what's your bra size? Or, you know, or
what's your bra size?
Yeah, and like just all this sort of like, you know, like basically wanting loads of like facts and figures. And just because I assumed it's because dating now, it's like a meat market, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're just swiping through and you're just looking at people and you're like, okay, so this person on paper could be okay, but let's see if he or she ticks any other boxes. And it just made me think, like, has things become a bit too, like, we're going to the supermarket and we're trying to find the perfect chicken, you know? Like, are we too open with what we want? And is that a bad thing? Discuss.
Well, yeah, I've seen it. I think everyone I know I remember when Naked Attraction came out and going into the office the next day and everyone's like, did you see that show? I think everyone was pretty shocked but entertained by the idea and format of that show. But I'm lucky that I've never, because I kind of tend to stay off dating apps.
Yeah, you don't. How do you find boys?
I don't. So if there's any offers...
So you meet people, like, organically?
I don't really
like
meet...
the 90s?
I don't really meet people organically. Who was the last person I got with? Yeah, I met them. It was a friend of a friend.
Oh, that's the dream.
Didn't work out so well.
But why aren't you on dating apps?
I'm not on dating apps because I don't like small talk.
Okay.
I don't like the hi, how are you? What's your job? I always I don't like it when people say, what do you do? I know it sounds really cliche.
What do you mean?
Sorry. I know it sounds really cliche, but I think you should ask people what they like to do. People always ask people what their professions are, and I find that a bit of a weird obsession.
Yeah, and you might not be in a job that you like.
Yeah, but I mean, and I say that as someone who's in a career that I have chosen. I'm lucky to work in quite a creative, fun industry. But yeah, I just don't like small talk. And whenever I did download Bumble for a bit. And I would go, maybe this is why it didn't go so well for me. I wouldn't go for the hi, how are you? I'd be like, what's your favourite flavour of ice cream?
But then you would be pro, like, the way these apps are working then, because it is very much like, yeah, but hey, how are you doing? Like, I'm good, how are you? And then it's like, cool. So, how tall are you? What's your size? What's this? What's that? Da-da-da. And it's like question.
I would say that what's your favourite flavour of ice cream is just like, I'm saying that because it might open up like a funny chat. I'm actually way more attracted to if someone's funny, and I think everyone is though. Like, I find it amazing that this is the way the world is going, that you know, like you say, you're treating people like a meat market and you're judging that you think that you will be compatible with someone by the way they look, and it doesn't work that way at all. Obviously, I think everyone has a type that they prefer, but, you know, attraction is, you know, I've dated some guys who, you know, probably photos of them were hideous. And you met them and they were hideous as well, but they were really funny, and, you know, it's not all about how someone looks when you...
Definitely not, and that's... I similarly have many guys who are not at all attractive. Like, I've
dated some real mingers.
Because it's not just about the physical, and I don't think you can really get that from an app. But then I guess it's a means to an end. Like, the only reason I was on them, because you know, when you go through phases and you just like, you get the apps.
Yeah,
and
you're like, I'm going to get back. I think you're like, I'm going to get back out there.
Yeah.
And then you download them for a bit, you go on them, and then you think, God, this is bloody awful.
Yeah, and then you just get rid of it. And then it's like, nah, I'm all right, thanks. So I'm in a off phase at the moment. But it did seem that it was a bit like a means to an end. If this is what everybody is doing these days, it's sort of like, well, I'm gonna have to. And it made me feel like, oh my gosh, like how much do you tell? How much do you hold back? And people want to know so much about you. And it made me feel like more objectified than people shouting at me in the street, you know?
Yeah, so
Which
you were people were asking, you were giving people those details. They were saying, what's your bra size? What's your dress size? How tall are you? And you were giving them the details they wanted.
Yeah, but then trying to make a joke out of it, being like, oh, I'm 5'10" and a half. Do you always ask so many questions? Lol. And, and it was just sort of like, ha, 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 no. So what dress size are you? And you're like, okay, what is happening?
Would you ask them back? Would you ask those questions back? What shoe size? I think that's the only thing a girl would ask. What shoe size are you?
But do you think that's real, though? The whole shoe size, willy size thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
We should undertake a scientific study.
Yeah.
In the name of research.
I've noticed, like the hand size thing. Like I've found that guys with small hands do either have small penises or they are growers, not showers. Yeah. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just find it so odd. This whole culture of dating apps just blows my mind that now it's like a game. It's so throwaway, but it's so like, what do you want? I want this. Okay, cool. And then you meet up and it's like, oh, you don't meet up. I'm awful for this, that people will ask me to meet up and I'm like, yeah, and then cancel.
I think it's that thing of, I haven't met up that much with people on apps either, but also it's that thing of, you don't know how it's going to go.
No.
And maybe that's why we're both single. But it's, the chances of it going well can mean what you want it to mean, that you flirt and have a kiss. It depends what you're looking for on apps, whether you want it to turn into a relationship or sex. But the chance of it going well in any way is quite slim. So I just think, can I be bothered with this?
What do you mean?
But so you go on a date, and I just think the chances of it turning into like a relationship are just so small.
But don't you think, like, I know so many people that we both know as well, but I just don't think you realise, have met their partners and they're either in long-term relationships, engaged or married from Tinder.
No.
Yeah.
Tinder's only been around a couple of years.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should get back on them. But I just think you're cutting yourself off to a whole group of people that, if you met, you might find attractive, but you don't from seeing a photo. And if you think about Love Island, the best TV show on earth, they originally pick their their partner based on what they look like. And then did anyone stay in their original partners? Like Amber and Kem didn't pick each other originally.
That's true.
But they both went in on the first day. So
maybe it is beneficial to be just really open. I don't like really open and really honest and just say, I think you're hot and I want a casual relationship, so let's bone. No, I feel really like.
Is that what? Are you testing out some lines on me?
Yeah, yes, and I knew like Bumble opener. No, it's just weird when like if somebody's saying to you, "Oh, what are you like? What are you?" And it's like you're ticking off boxes for them.
Yeah.
And then it's like, then people just go, you don't have a first date anymore. It's like,
because you know everything already.
Yeah, but then it's weird because then it's like, hey, so shall I booty call? And I like, shall I press the booty call button? And you're like, hold on, we've never met.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, is this what people do now?
I think it's what guys do. I think girls are quite, massively generalising here, but my female friends are a lot better at... I don't think they would ask anyone those questions on apps, and I don't think they would just be judging a partner on what they look like. Obviously, you find certain people think certain people are good looking or not. So yeah, I really think it's a guy thing.
But then you see, like, on the guys' profiles, they'll say their height, and they'll say because I people ask, or they'll say 5'10" in heels because that seems to be important. So I'm guessing guys keep getting asked how tall they are.
Yeah,
so that must mean by the powers of detective work that women are asking about guys too. So
Yeah.
maybe these apps are, hold on, mind blown, like it's all coming together. These apps are just casual physical. How tall are you? What size are you? Do you want a bone? Wicked. And like, if you get a relationship from that, then cool. But they're not. I am so confused. I don't know.
But these apps are very popular, and that is suggesting that everyone is just after casual sex.
But are they not? Next time.
So the reason I think Naked Attraction is a weird show is that kind of like the attitude to nudity that it pushes out. And I think there's a problem that some people have. So I'm a real naked person. If you go on holiday with me, you will see all of me, as a lot of my friends know. But I really think people fall into two groups. And what I'm trying to say is, if you only see a naked person when you're having sex, you always associate naked bodies with sex. And that show is also pushing out that idea. That the reason you're looking at someone's legs or back or face is because you're viewing them as a sexual object. Right. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out if you think that's a positive thing.
I think it's a bad thing. I'm all in for people being as naked as possible. So, for example, my parents growing up, I grew up in quite a naked family. I mean, we're not nudists, but I've seen both my parents naked.
Yeah, I think it'd be weird for kids not to have seen their parents naked.
But I've lived with people in the past who, they see, female friends who see you topless and they're a bit like, oh my God. And it kind of startles them.
Chill, love, they're just tits.
Yeah, and so I think there's a real danger of just associating a naked body with sex. Yeah. It's my little theory.
Well, then that makes sense. Well, yeah, because then when you see a woman breastfeeding in public, you're automatically shocked and she needs to put her boob away. That's so outrageous. Yeah. And it's like, no, actually, that's what they're there for. And if you're getting turned on by this and it says more than you, then it does anybody else. So get a fucking life.
I don't think anyone's getting turned on by it, but yeah, I think it's the same thing. But bodies aren't just used for sex; they're used for so many things.
What else can you do with your body?
You can dance.
No, I know what you mean. That's such a good point. I never even thought about that. I was just like, whenever I watch Naked Attraction, I'd watch it like, what's that thing? No likey, no lighty. What's that?
Take Me Out.
Yeah, I'd watch it like Take Me Out. So then they'd like lift it up to like the knees or whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't like those toes. No.
Yeah. But also, it makes you realise how ugly bodies are.
Yeah.
Like, bodies aren't pretty.
No, they're not.
Like, someone might have a great pair of tits, but the feet are ugly.
No.
Oh, and I love the accent bit. That's my favourite. that's my favourite part of the show. They're pretending it's science. Now they're going to speak for you. Like, this isn't okay. And it's like, oh no, I don't like... So it's like a lovely girl from London. And then the guy speaks and he's from Manchester and suddenly she doesn't like him anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's like, oh no, I don't like his voice. It's like, you just don't want another boyfriend.
Or do you think that they've seen a part of their body that they don't like, but because we're all British, we're too polite to be like, oh, I'm not a fan of his penis, it looks a bit skinny, so they'd just be like, oh no, I just don't like his accent.
Yeah, everyone's always very polite on it, aren't they? Yeah. They're like, oh, it's just not for me, rather than like, find your body repulsive.
Because you couldn't do that in real life. You couldn't meet up, so you've swiped away on Tinder, you've got everybody's stats, you've gone back and forth, ticked all the boxes, so they've come round, you haven't bothered to go out, so you haven't bothered to go out for a first date, they've come round, you've opened the door, and he's like, gets it all out. You can't be like, no, I don't find you attractive anymore. Because,
abort.
I mean, you can, but it like you feel like this is really bad. And like, I hate that we're in a society that makes us feel this way. That you can't be in that situation. You have to carry on, because I'd love to be able to be like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And then the guy be like, yeah, okay. I mean, and I have been in those, like in the past, but...
Have you?
Yeah.
But what can you dislike dislike so much
know
about
when
someone's body that you're like,
No, but you
at
know
this
when you
stage
just-
I want to abort?
You just change your mind and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. But it does put you in a position of like, you should be able to say no at any point. And with people, like if you have somebody that comes around just to have sex and you've never met them before and you look at each other, naked attraction style, you can't turn around and be like, I'm sorry, this isn't going to work for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but I'd always be worried of like the safety aspect involved, because you hear so many stories and there's so many cases of guys getting physical and being like, you know, aggressive about things. And even there has been like cases back in when I studied, I did a law module, criminal law module at uni. Yes, darling. There was a case where a girl, a woman laughed at a man's penis and he strangled her to death.
God.
And this happens.
Whoa.
So it's like...
I love so many different elements of that story.
like, it's just a worry. Like, it's a feeling
You should never laugh at someone's genitalia.
Oh, no, of course not.
But you should never strangle someone.
Well, it's rather rude, but of course not. I'm not saying you should ever. But I just worry that if you're in a situation where it's a physical thing, that you can't just say, I'm not into this anymore. It might just be a lie back and think of England. You don't, like, that's awful.
So speaking of safety, one of my favourite topics. That was a very tenuous link.
Is the Green Cross code coming out?
So we are both Londoners, so I think...
Well, actually, I live in London now. I'm not a Londoner.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
I'm from the countryside, darling.
You're offended that I called you a Londoner?
Yeah.
I'm a Londoner born and bred, and I think everyone who lives in London last week on Friday was talking about the fact that Transport for London has denied Uber. It's not going to renew Uber's license to be a private operator.
Private operator. Private operator. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
But it took a while for that news to sink in. My WhatsApp group, was blowing up. People were not happy.
What was the issues? What were their thoughts on it?
I think everyone was pretty shocked because I know there's been some issues with Uber and how it treats their drivers and staff. And obviously that's all part of the decision. And also, unfortunately, there's been some incidences where passengers have been assaulted, which obviously...
Really?
Yeah.
I shouldn't be surprised, but I haven't actually heard of that happening in this country.
Yeah. I don't think Uber has cooperated that well or been that forthcoming with information to the police afterwards. I think that Uber should be allowed to operate in London, but they need to change some behaviours. But I think it's kind of amazing. I mean, my group, WhatsApp group, everyone was like, but how am I going to get home?
Yeah.
Like, Uber has transformed our lives. I think it's definitely made me more sociable. But I signed, I don't know if you saw, there's a petition that went around that Uber started, and I signed the petition. Because obviously I think that Uber should be allowed to remain in London, because as a young girl, it's scary sometimes walking to the tube or getting the tube late at night. And obviously it's awful that there have been these certain incidences that have happened to passengers. But most girls probably actually feel safer getting an Uber around London than they do getting public transport at a certain time in the night.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, the amount of times that it's just so easy now that if you're somewhere and it's late, then even if you go to get the tube, you still have to walk to the tube, which is probably like 10 minutes away, let's just say, in the dark, probably on your own, or get even a night bus. But then now people are saying, like, oh, well, you get the night tube. No. Have you ever been on a night tube with all these drunk people? Like, it's a genuine fear of mine. Not that I'm going to get assaulted or anything, but that I'm going to get pushed in between the train and the platform by a load of drunks.
Really?
No one's going to notice. And that's how I'm going to die. No one's going to notice because I'm on my own and everyone else is drunk. And there's nothing more intimidating than being surrounded by a load of drunks. I think that being in an Uber on my own is sort of got rid of that fear, because I always thought that they were just, everything was tracked, and if so-and-so Uber driver was going to kill me, then at least we know who did it.
Yeah, that's true. I think that as well, that if a black cab driver assaults someone, you don't know who they are unless you've taken down their details, which you probably haven't.
No, definitely not.
But it's on your phone in the morning, the registration, the driver's name.
Yeah, so I guess it's going back to the anxiety of being pushed between the train and the tube platform. And that's probably how I'm going to die. So yeah, see you next week for No Sex, No City. Make sure you subscribe.
Bye!